Now, where did Fabio end up? Did he roll or did he?
He rolled. Yes, he rolled. He got into a little bit of a problem. They were looking to stick a needle in his arm. Okay,
Wow.
so yeah. He had 5 bodies, and he was one of. They asked me sometimes who was the most surprising guy that flipped that when somebody flipped.
Yeah.
And I would have to say him because of his family's pedigree. If you know the rest of the family, they're hard. They're not fucking. They're not. So that was some. I grew up with the uncle Paul, and no way in the world he'd ever flip. I could bet that. I would bet it all day. But
Who did he flip against? Do you remember?
shit, a lot of people, a
Okay.
lot of people, his friends, anybody that were involved in anything with him, flipped on me. But look where I'm at, so that don't matter anymore. But he also flipped on people in my family, and that whatever. It just happens. I can't be saying who flipped on who, whatever.
Got it.
When I did it
Who's
myself.
Anthony Tabita?
Yes, Anthony's also part of that clique. Anthony was also a shooter. Little hot tempered. Hot tempered. People have asked me before, who does Gene Barella remind you of? Anthony definitely. And same kind of attitude, same kind of I don't care, and And Anthony was he also flipped as well.
And why did
You got to remember, these kids were looking to put needles in their arms.
Yeah. No, it happens, right? I mean, now, this was actually like a friend and mentor of yours. Who's this?
Family friend, mostly, not a mentor. That was Baldo Amato.
Okay. Now,
we know who he is. He's the bodyguard in that Galante.
And describe your relationship with him on the street.
It was like family when we were early on, and then as we got older, it was more like, people from the same town. It wasn't cold. It was okay. I worked for him, but it was what it was. In a criminal aspect, I worked in his coffee shop.
Yeah. Well, the stories make him out to be, they glamorize it a little bit. There's your mentor and all that kind of
I know.
stuff.
I heard that shit too. That's one guy I didn't want to flip on. I didn't want to sit on, but the government said, "Hey, you're up next again." This is after the Messino case, and Messino was a bigger guy than him. It wasn't like it was about me being scared. It was about me knowing this guy for all my life and my family as well.
Describe what it was like to be on the stand against Joseph Messino.
It was surreal. I felt like walking off a lot of times, like fuck this. They took me from A to B to the courthouse. I was staying out of state at the time, so they drove me in with a helicopter on top, and a guy with the guy was following us.
Wow.
And then we had another guy in the front seat with one of those automatic weapons, and I came out of the courtroom. There it goes, and I got in the courtroom, but he was defeated by that because I came after Sal Vitale, and Sal Vitale took the air out of that fat hat balloon right there. He was fucked up.
Yeah,
you could see he was defeated.
So
he was looking at me like, "What's up, Bo?" Like he didn't give a shit.
Now your era, though, although you grew up around Sicilians, Messino kind of took it over and built the Bonannos back up. What are some of the things that he did on the street to kind of build things back up?
He started okay. He was taking the clubs away.
Yeah,
he was doing all that. Trying to 86 the loud mouths. He didn't want none. He was going. He was having a business minded set business minded on making this family go. He was starting to do that, but then he would make silly mistakes. One of them was like, for example, he buys this restaurant. The Casablanca. He turns it in. He's not doing well, so he goes to Plan B. He invites everybody in the world and the mob to come over there and eat there. I mean, talk about. You want to shut the freaking social clubs, but you want to bring everybody in your
restaurant,
your restaurant, and they'd have like that Pat Cooper there once a week. You ever heard of him?
Yeah, of course, from Howard Stern.
Yeah, it was always something going on. So I didn't get that. There was a lot of moves that were questionable.
Got it. Now, I want to give another quick photo. Let me just see real quick. Okay.
Sure.
This is Senator D'Amato. Who's this guy on the senator's right?
Oh, that was Ralphie Schuler. He was a kid that we grew up with. And he was one of the first kids to get killed. And an ex-friend of ours in that whole Giannini crew.
What did he do to get killed?
He was getting too big for his bridges. He thought he was better than everybody. He was doing a lot of shady shit within the last 5 years. And you know, he used to go robbing places, and then people will always like. One time he robbed fireworks off of a guy for 25 grand. He got caught. It was actually Bobby Glasses' guy. And Bobby then got close to him, and he was starting not to do stuff like that. But he was just a freaking, he would pinch people all the time. And him and Vito started getting into like tit for tats, and eventually he got killed.
Wow. Found him in a trunk, I heard.
Yeah, in Long Island. He got killed. They took him to, it was Fabio and Vito. They took him to Fabio's house. They killed him, put him in a trunk, and then the next day they were help looking for him.
Wow. Who's the other guy?
It's sad, huh?
Who's the other guy?
That's D'Amato. You know that guy in the middle.
Oh, D'Amato, the other guy.
Joe Gambino. He flipped. He started coming. He flipped during the Vinny Bassiano days. And he flipped on, actually sat on Vinny Bassiano. And I think he sat on Bobby Glasses as well. Don't hold me on that. I think so. He was a character. We grew up with him. His uncle was Tony Aiello. His cousin is Anthony Aiello.
Yeah.
He had to grow up fast. Both his parents were in jail when he was 15. And they handed him the coffee shop to take care of, which was the prerequisite to Giannini's. It was on Palmetto and Freshmont. It was called Nino's Cafe.
And that's Ridgewood?
That's Ridgewood, yeah. And Giannini's 6612, the address.